Joined by Mike Rizzo, the Nats GM and president of baseball ops, just hours away from the trade deadline, less than 7 hours to go. You guys had a great event with the Nationals Youth Academy the other day, and Grant and Danny were out there interviewing some of your players, and one was Anthony Rendon, and of course they asked him about the contract situation. He said he hadn't heard from the Nats front office in a month. Where do things stand with the Nationals and Anthony Rendon?
Well, you better call his agent because we got a counter proposal from his agent on July 15th, so we better be in contact with him. We've been in contact with this guy. We've talked to Anthony and his people, and we're going to be aggressive in trying to get him done, and we want him here. We're going to be very fair and aggressive with him because he's one of our own, and we want to keep him. So, we've been in constant communication. We've had a lot of dialogue with him. We've had proposals back and forth. Like I said earlier this month, and the month of July, we've had proposals back and forth. So,
was the counter proposal from his agent something you feel like you can work with, or was it just outrageous?
Well, we're not going to discuss where we're at with that, but it's something that the dialogue is open, and we continue to discuss it. Mr. Lerner, myself, and
they didn't accept it, Jason.
Scott, and Mr. Lerner, myself, and Scott are we're working on it, and so is Mark Lerner. So we're trying to get it done.
So should we expect some Nats fans should we expect some deals before 4 o'clock?
Oh yeah.
We certainly would like to. We recognize where we need to improve. We need to upgrade our bullpen. That could be in the middle relief role. It could be in the setup role. It could be in a closer role. We don't know. We'd like to upgrade our bullpen, but the same can be said for about 16 other teams, and there's the demand way outweighs the supply right now. Asks are outrageous right now, both monetarily and player-wise, and we are. You know me, guys. We're not afraid to make a trade, and we're not afraid to make a deal. But we can't. We're not going to make a bad trade just to make a trade. Our team understands where we're at. They know we want to win. They know the front office and ownership is put a lot of resources into this thing. But we're going to be aggressive, but we're not going to be dangerously aggressive.
Besides the guys like Max that you have on the injured list there, we just flashed on NBC Sports Washington the graph. You got quite a few guys on that list that have contributed in the past. A guy I wonder no one's talking about. Maybe I'm just completely oblivious to his current situation. A guy like Coda Glover, who there were some high expectations for. Is there any chance he can be utilized this year, or is his year pretty much shot?
Well, it's been a lost year for him. He came into spring training and had a forearm strain, and we've been very cautious with him. He's been hurt in the past. He had Tommy John years ago, so we're very careful with him. We're certainly not counting on him for the remainder of the year. He's in a return to throw program. But as of now, he's not a guy we can count on. For this year. But hopefully that you're right. He was a factor coming into spring training, a guy we were going to count on to be one of our good, effective young relievers. And because of injury, he and also Austin Williams haven't been able to help us at all this year.
Mike, I know you don't really care about the other teams in the league, but were you surprised that Cleveland traded Bauer?
Not really. They do. They're a very intelligent front office there. They're a small market team. They've got to really look forward and ahead of the curve. And they saw an opportunity in the market that it was a huge seller's market for starting pitching, and they thought that this was a year to cash in on it. They've got 3 really good starters ready to come off the disabled list. So they feel that they've got a big enough lead in the wild card, and they're still in the division hunt, and they got 3 stud pitchers, at one time or another in the near future coming back. So they felt that they could, that it was a move that they had to do.
Hey, Mike, the Pirates have had some issues with a couple different teams. Obviously, Cincinnati last night was great entertainment for a baseball fan. They've had some issues with Joe Madden and the Cubs. Does Clint Hurdle have a reputation in the National League of pushing buttons? It just seems like they're always involved in something. So are the Reds too, but it just seems like Hurdle and the Pirates are always involved in something.
Well, they have a philosophy that they throw inside probably as much or more than any team in baseball, and if throwing inside is great, that's what you're supposed to do. That's how you win. That's how you get guys out. But you better be able to command the ball inside, because if you can't, with the way the velocity that the guys throw at nowadays, if you're pitching it and you can't control it, tempers are going to flare because livelihoods are on the line, and all you have to do is look at us or the Braves when you see one inside pitch to Trey Turner, and your baseball world changes very, very quickly, and Markakis, one inside fastball to him, their world changes. So it's problematic when guys pitch in and aren't able to pitch in effectively, and they're pitching in wildly, and I think that's the line that upsets people. No one cares, and no one's affected by when you're pitching in effectively and for purpose and that type of thing. But it's right. when you're careless and can't command the ball inside, and you start hitting people and hurting people, is when tempers flare.
Right.
Mike, with Burke and Herbert Bank, we have a great contest. If you have a player that hits for the cycle, somebody can win $100,000. And Trey Turner hit for the cycle. It just wasn't on the right day. So today, Jeff P. from Herndon, he's banking on the cycle in today's game with Burke and Herbert Bank. He's already taken home a $100 gift card. But if any Washington baseball player hits for the cycle during today's game, he's also going to take home that $100,000 courtesy of Burke and Herbert Bank. Enter for your chance to bank on the cycle during next Wednesday's game. Details at thefandc.com/contest. Trey Turner was able to do it. Talk about how valuable he's been to the resurgence of the Nationals, a team which, you guys were 12 games under 500 not that long ago.
Well, he's as important as we have offensively. He's a two-way player, plays great defense, which we were sorely missing when he and Rendon were both out at the same time. And he's an igniter at the top of the lineup. He's got power, speed, defense. He's a menace on the bases, and he really changes the dynamic of a game when he reaches base. And he's a huge factor for us. And when he was out for I think he was out for 45 games or something like that. He was sorely missed, and at one of the primary positions in the game. So. He's as important as anybody on the team, and we're glad he's back and healthy and thriving again.
Mike, last question before I let you go. I know it's a busy day for you. This whole Baby Shark thing, I wasn't even familiar with that song. I didn't know anything about it. But the team has really rallied around it. And I remember when we talked to you in spring training, everybody talked about this clubhouse and about sort of the looseness of it and it's the positiveness of it. You talked about it even through the struggles this team stayed together. Man, you can really see those chemistry issues sort of, and just how good this team is together. Right? How much do you love that? I mean, I know that the song is kind of goofy, but man, these are the kind of ingredients you have.
There's no doubt. It's a feel good clubhouse. You've got a bunch of veterans in there that are great people. It's anchored by Howie Kendrick and Brian Dozier. Kind of the new guys that are here, and then you get the Rendons and the Scherzers and the Turners that have become leaders, and you got the Stallworth and Zim, who's always a presence. So yeah, it's a good mix of youthful exuberance with Robles and Soto and those guys and the grizzled veterans and you got Fernando Rodney really working hard with those bullpen guys, and I think you've seen an uptick in Suero's play since Rodney's been here, and that's no coincidence. And it's a good match. It's a good mixture, and I don't know the chicken or the egg if good chemistry comes when you win or winning comes with good chemistry, but whatever it is, for the last 60 or so games, we've been better than anybody in the league, and we hope to continue that run and go and take this thing into playing meaningful games in September and October.
And EB, you're forgetting, it's not about Baby Shark. It's when Valdez and Drab changed Mike's walk-up music to
right.
Chicago.
That was the impetus. That's
yes.
right. All right, Mike, we know it's a busy day for you. Work those phones. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. See you next week.
Yep.